Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Clive Berghofer Centre. I want to particularly acknowledge Carla and Romy and Willow, who are present here today, all our staff and players. We've called this media conference here today to make a special announcement. I guess it's a special announcement in the history of our club. That announcement involves Darius Boyd, a premiership winner and an absolute legend of our club. We've all watched Darius mature and grow over the past 14 years in the NRL, and today he sits before you as one of our game's great statesmen and a fantastic ambassador for rugby league and for this club. I'll now hand over to Darius to make his announcement.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Whitey. Thanks, everyone, for coming. I've got something I'd like to read. I'll try to keep my emotions in check. I don't remember the first time I was told to play in the National Rugby League. I was 18 years old, everything was happening at a crazy speed and everything was new. But I do remember the time that I decided that my NRL career would end. It was at a dinner last month when a friend asked me if this would be my last season. It had been in the back of my mind, but that one question made it feel urgent. And I knew right then that this would be it. There were more reasons why it should be my last season rather than why it shouldn't. So now it's time to tell you all that news. This 2020 season will be my last in rugby league. I have another season to give. My body feels great and I'm excited about the season. But I'm also excited about the next chapter of my life. And I'll go into that next chapter so grateful for everything that has happened over my 15 seasons in an NRL. Rugby league cops a lot of criticism, but only a game like rugby league could have provided the journey that I've had on and off the field. Rugby league helped me out of my dark times. The game provided me the support I needed as I sought help to improve my mental health. And the game has provided that platform for me to tell that story to others. I'll always be grateful for that. I met my incredible wife, Kayla, while I was playing rugby league. What a journey we've had together. We now have 2 beautiful daughters. Our family brings me happiness I can't describe. I'm so grateful for that. I've met some incredible people along the way, people who have helped me grow from a shy, introverted kid to a very, very happy, proud and compassionate man. Those people know who they are and I will always value them. For my teammates, coaches, club staff and my management team, I can never thank them enough. I've been fortunate to have some great times in footy, a premiership in my first year with the Broncos, a premiership with the Dragons, State of Origin series wins that will stay with me forever, and the honour of playing for my country. I grew up a Broncos supporter and I was lucky enough to captain this great club. But you can only do all those things because of teammates, coaches and management. I'm grateful for them all. I'll miss competing, I'll miss the victories, I'll miss sharing the journey with my teammates, but most of all, I'll miss the good wishes of the fans who make rugby league possible. Yes, I've copped criticism over the years, but I've received far more good wishes than bad. The support of fans has meant a lot to me. It's always humbling to think of the person who saves every cent to buy a ticket to watch their team. They're the foundation of this game. I'll join those fans after the 2020 season as I stay involved in this great game. I owe rugby league a lot. It's been very, very good to me, and I'll forever be grateful for that. Thank you. Yeah, it was strange, really. I mean, it was something that I had on my mind for a fair while, for probably over the off-season and for a few months. But I caught up with a friend that I really, really trust and lean on. And when we had a really quick chat about it, it was kind of just that light bulb moment. I just kind of knew. I think sometimes these things just happen. I mean, I've never retired before, but the kind of decision just come into my mind after we had that conversation. Obviously spoke to Kayla and my family, and right from that dinner that night, this friend was like, well, just make sure you go away, have a think about it, don't make any rash decisions. But from that night, straight away, I knew that I'd be coming to this conclusion.
It seemed very content for your decision, Darius. Is it sort of taking a weight off your shoulders in a way and giving you a bit more clean air, so to speak, going forward?
Yeah, I think it just gets me the opportunity to really look forward to finishing the season, a bit of a plan, a bit of, I suppose, genuine plan of where I'm headed and what I want to do. I think, I suppose, it's all just set in stone now, so there's no guessing games. I know where I am, I know where I'm at, what I'm going to do this next 12 months, whether it's rugby league or working for stuff for life after football. But I think having a plan in life's really, really important, and I know where I stand now.
What is the next chapter, Darren?
Yeah, I've got a couple of good things in the pipelines. I think obviously I want to stay involved with this club. I've been doing a lot of work in the mental health space in particular, in the Beyond the Broncos program, so that's really important to me and something that I'm going to keep continuing. And me and Kayla have some really big goals and aspirations around some things we want to do out in the community and the corporate world as far as mental health and wellbeing as well. So on one hand, it's daunting to finish rugby league and not have that on the side, but the other side, the next chapter is really exciting as well.
What's your career highlight?
Career highlights, definitely premierships. I think they're so hard to win, they're so hard to get there. You spend 11 months with your teammates and a family, and I mean, I've been at a couple other clubs. I enjoyed my times at all the clubs I've been at, but this has always been home for me. I've supported this club since I was probably 6 years old. So to be back here now and be a part of this family again, and be able to go out this way under the Broncos banner is very special to me. But winning premierships, I was lucky enough to win one in my first year. Probably didn't take it. I probably took it for granted a little bit. Didn't understand how big it is and how hard it is. But definitely the Dragons one, I was probably more a part of it. Really celebrated it. And been on the other side too. We lost the 15 grand final, and that was still hard to think about. But yeah, premierships are no one can take that away from you. It's a second family, the group you play with, and those history books will always be there.
How do you hope the game of NDC?
Yeah, it's a funny one. I mean, when you talk about, people will use the word legacy and that. I don't look at it in any way. I don't think about legacies or anything like that. I just was a kid that wanted to play rugby league, had a dream, wanted to play for the Broncos. So to be here now, like I said, being able to captain the club, play so many games, to retire as a part of the Broncos. I more so look at it, I suppose, as my teammates. I hope they thought I was a player that, and still think that I'm a player they want to be out there with every week. That gives them confidence. You feel a bit safe when that person's in the team. I've always tried my best on and off the field. I've always been pretty professional in what I do, and I'm really enjoying the group we have at the moment and helping the young ones. And when I come through, and I was lucky enough to have a lot of older leaders like Darren Lockyer and Petro and Shane Webke that you could learn off and help lead you. And I'm really enjoying that role now as the older one.
And you've got to fight on your hands this year as well to even keep your spot in the team, because there's so many young players. Like, you definitely want to make this go out on a high.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think that's what the future's bright for this club. There's some of the young guys in the squad. I think Sieb said last night, we're the youngest average age in the NRL. So that brings a lot of excitement, and I don't look at it as pressure for me. If I do my job, I'll be there. I also look at it as something that I can really help these guys grow in their path and their journey, because, like I said before, guys have helped me grow in my journey, and that's what it's all about. I have the best wishes for this club, the best interests. This club's given me so much. I'm so grateful for that, and if I can help some of these younger ones on their journey and have special careers, then that's what I want to do.
You mentioned the criticism before, Darius. How much is that taking a toll on you?
Yeah, not a lot, to be honest. I don't have social media, as you all know. I don't read the paper. I don't watch the news. So it's pretty easy in a way. I think criticism's hard more on your family and friends. They're the ones that see it, read it, probably don't understand how you're feeling. They care about you, so that's probably what it's hardest for. But like I said before, I've had ups and downs in my career, highs and lows, and that's just what professional sport is, I think. Everyone wants to support their team, good or bad. There's a lot of negativity around, and maybe that's probably why I'm so passionate around mental health and wellbeing as well.
What was the toughest challenge you were thrown?
In my rugby league career,
Yeah.
what injury-wise?
Like your life.
Life. Definitely. I took time out of the game for my mental health. It's obviously been well documented. I don't have to touch on that too much, but I wouldn't be here in such a happy space and making this. It's probably a tough decision, but it's one that I'm surprised I haven't broken down into tears yet. So I feel really good about it. Have my wife and my 2 daughters sitting there. I was a captain of this club. All these things that I wouldn't have achieved if I didn't put my hand up and ask for some help around my mental health and well-being, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. Is because it's really changed my life and turned me around for the better. I have some really, really important people in my life Whitey's been great support network for me over this last 5 years I've been back, and this club's been the same as well. It's a great club, a lot of special people in it. I always just think I'm very lucky and grateful for everything I have received.
How do you feel heading into your final year not being captain?
Yeah, well, Steve's told me a while back, so it was pretty. Again, I'm a team guy, but also I think I'm realistic as well. I knew where the team's headed, where we want to go. I have the best interest of the club at heart too. So I mean, when Steve spoke to me about it, I was fine with that. He told me, positions he probably wanted me to play as well, and again, I was fine with that. It's a new challenge for me, but I suppose my leadership, my role doesn't change. I don't have the C next to my name, but I haven't changed my outlook, my positivity, my work around the young group one bit since I've come back to training. And like I said before, I actually really enjoy that stuff. And I'm really excited for this year, probably a bit of pressure taken off me. Also making this announcement probably takes a bit of pressure off as well. And I'm looking forward to helping the team win some games and making sure the team's on the right track so that they're successful for years to come.
Dubs, you've obviously got your brother and Dallas doing the job now, but in terms of young future leaders, who do you see that can take this club forward?
Well, Pat Carrigan and Matt Lodge, I think the two that definitely spring to mind. Someone like Payne Haas is an incredible talent. He's probably going to grow. He's only a young kid, and as you get older, you grow and you get more experience, and you find your voice as well. So he's probably one as well. But yeah, Paddy's got a very solid, level head on his shoulders. He speaks well. He's already a great leader. And his work ethic as well. But Lodgy, don't have to talk about his past, but he's a special person, and he's done a lot of great things on and off the field. And I think he would do the club very, very proud if he was captain.
So, I mean, obviously you must be privileged to work with Darwin, played 300 games, 2 premierships, he's been a champion every game.
Yeah, very much privileged to coach somebody like Darius. I think having worked with him for over 12 months now, and just see first and foremost what a special person he is, and just I think even sitting beside him as he read his speech there is just gave me goosebumps in a lot of ways. He's achieved everything in our game, and he's been fantastic to work with. He's very much a team first person, so to have him still in our environment for another 12 months, I think it's fantastic opportunity for our younger players to learn. His work ethic, the way he prepares, he's very diligent. There's so many traits that he has that I'd love for him to pass on to the younger players and the emerging players coming through our club. So I'll certainly be leaning on Darius over the next 6, 7, 8 months, whatever the season is, and I think a lot of our players will cherish the time they get to spend with him over that period of time.
How good is it to get some clarity on the situation? Because you've been a big supporter of Darius. There's been a lot of commentary of his place in the team. You get some clarity for this year and not have to answer that question anymore?
Yeah, I think Darius has made a really smart decision with regards to his announcement. He seems at peace with it, certainly when he spoke to me, and I know that it's the right decision for him, and he knows it's the right decision. So I think it gives everybody clarity. I also, would like to think that our members, our supporters, the general supporters of rugby league and the media will recognise the achievements that Darius has achieved over the last 15 years in the NRL. Very few people in our game get to play over 300 games. Very few people get to win premierships at 2 different clubs. And very few people get to win a Clive Churchill medal. And he's done all of that as well as represent Queensland and Australia with great distinction. So I think, I'd like to think that people will recognise and remember, what Darius has done, but also what he'll do this year. He will leave a legacy. He spoke before about, not thinking too much about the legacy he leaves behind, but you have to understand guys like Tom Deard and Xavier Coates, they were little boys when Darius was winning premierships and playing for Queensland. So I know they hold him in the highest regard, and he's a fantastic role model. So I would love to see great recognition for Darius over the next 6 months.
Or where do you see Darius's future? As the world Broncos, how do you see that panning out?
I think he could become a CEO whisperer. He spoke about our relationship, but to be honest, I always feel better after spending some time with him. So he might have a career in that. I've never said that to you, Darius, but this club is a place that cares for each other, and Darius sort of is evidence of that. But he's been a great support for me. I think his career could develop in so many different ways. it's really hard out there, and I'm a passionate supporter of mental health, particularly for men. My background in the police has taught me that men really struggle to, reach for help when they're doing it tough, and I think Darius has been a great ambassador. I think his story gives, the legacy of his story gives, I guess, permission for other people involved in our game to reach out for help if they need it. So he'll have a role here. He's already doing work in our community programs. He'll have an ongoing role there, but I think his future looks bright off the field. And I think the best thing about Darius is everything he's spoken about today is real. There's nothing political in what he said. He's owned his mistakes and he's owned the opportunities he's been given. And yeah, I just think he's a terrific person. So, his career could take many different directions, and I wish him the best. We'll certainly miss him as a club on the field because of what he gives us off the field. But he'll remain connected to the club, and the future looks bright.
Well, I know Wayne Bennett played a huge role in the league. Did you consult him at all? Did you have any advice for him?
Yeah, well, that's why I think I knew that the time was right, and it was just that light bulb moment. I knew it was the right decision. I didn't actually consult Wayne. I kind of just rang him about 3 or 4 days ago and just told him what my decision was, and he was very, very supportive, as he always has been. Wayne's been a huge part of my career, on and off the field. I've always valued his relationship and friendship, but yeah, it was pretty pleasing for me to kind of come to this decision and not even have to ask someone that I really high in massive regard. So I kind of just told him. He's very supportive. Our chats are never very long, but I always feel better after them. But yeah, it was great to have his support on the decision as well.
Right.